Hello and welcome to the Storytelling Channel. Today I bring you a special tale about trust, cleverness, and the true meaning of friendship. Get ready to hear the story of the goat in the well, an adventure that starts with curiosity and ends with a powerful lesson. Stay with me. The Goat in the Well. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between green mountains and sunlit hills, there lived a kind old farmer named Don Anselmo. He was a hard-working man with a snow-white beard and a calm, thoughtful gaze. His farm wasn't large, but he cared for his animals with great love: chickens, a sleepy donkey, a couple of sheep, and one very mischievous goat named Maruja. Now Maruja wasn't just any goat. From the time she was a kid, she had shown an unquenchable curiosity. She'd sneak into the gardens, push open the fence to wander the woods, and once even climbed onto the roof of the barn and refused to come down until Don Anselmo offered her a loaf of rye bread. Everyone in the village had heard of Maruja's antics. Some laughed, others warned, that goat's going to get herself into real trouble one day. And as these things often go, that day came sooner than anyone expected. One warm summer morning, with the sun glowing over the wheat fields and the birds singing their sweetest songs, Maruja managed to slip out through a crack in the gate. While Don Anselmo dozed beneath a walnut tree, Maruja trotted off to explore. She crossed a dirt path, leapt over a ditch, wandered through some bushes, and arrived at a clearing where time seemed to have stood still. In the middle of that clearing stood an old stone well, partially covered with dry branches. It hadn't been used in many years. Moss grew along its edge, and a rusty bucket hung limply from a frayed rope. Curious as ever, Maruja stepped closer. She sniffed around the rim, peered inside, and seeing nothing alarming. Slip! She lost her footing and fell right in. The well wasn't very deep, but deep enough that Maruja couldn't climb out on her own. She landed with a splash in some muddy water and let out a startled bleat. Boya! Boya! Maruja cried out in fear. Hours passed. The sun began its slow descent. Don Anselmo awoke from his nap and looked around. Where has that rascal goat run off to now? He muttered, puzzled. He checked the barn, the chicken coop, even the pantry, where Maruja had been caught stealing apples before, but she was nowhere to be found. Concerned, he grabbed his straw hat and set out to find her. Meanwhile, Maruja's cries echoed through the trees. Not far away, a clever fox named Ruffian heard the sound. Ruffian was known for his cunning and craftiness. He didn't always have the best intentions, but something about the panicked bleating caught his attention. Curious, and perhaps hoping for some mischief, he followed the noise. He reached the clearing and cautiously approached the well. Peering inside, he saw the goat, wet and muddy, eyes wide with fear. "What are you doing down there, friend?" the fox asked with feigned concern. "Help me, please. I fell and I can't get out," cried Maruja. Ruffian scratched his chin. He wasn't about to climb down just for the fun of it. But then he had an idea. "Listen," he said, smiling sweetly. "If I jump down with you, we can help each other. I'll climb on your back and pull myself up. Then I'll help you get out. Sound good?" Desperate and scared, Maruja agreed without much thought. The fox leapt in, landing beside her with a splash. "Great. Now hold still," said Ruffian. "I'll just climb on your back real quick." Before Maruja could protest, the fox scrambled up, using her like a ladder, and jumped out of the well in one graceful bound. He shook the mud off his tail and smirked. "Hey, now help me," Maruja called from below. But Ruffian just chuckled and looked up at the sky. "Oh yes, about that helping part. Well, now that I'm out, I guess your problem is no longer my problem. Goodbye, goat." With that, he vanished into the bushes. Just then, Don Anselmo arrived at the clearing. He followed the distant bleats and tracks through the grass. When he saw the well, he rushed forward and looked inside. "Maruja! Oh, for heaven's sake, what have you gotten into this time?" He sighed. He ran to fetch a sturdy rope from a nearby shed. Carefully lowering it into the well, he called down to her. Maruja, upon seeing her owner, bleated with relief. With great effort, Don Anselmo pulled her up, muddy and trembling but safe. "I'm going to have to put a double bell on you, Maruja," he muttered. "You're no young kid anymore. You can't go falling into wells like that." They walked back home slowly. Maruja kept her head low, not just because she was tired, but because she was ashamed. She had learned a hard lesson. Not everyone who offers help truly means well. That night, as Maruja rested in the stable, Ruffian returned to the farm. Silently, he crept toward the chicken coop, hoping to snatch an unsuspecting hen. But Don Anselmo, no fool, had reinforced the doors, and Maruja, spotting the shadowy figure, let out a loud warning bleat. Baya! Baza! The guard dog joined in with angry barking. Ruffian had no choice but to flee into the woods, tail between his legs. From that night on, the fox never came near the farm again, and Maruja, though still curious, was much more cautious when exploring. Most importantly, she had learned to be careful who she trusted. Moral of the story: don't blindly trust those who offer help. Not everyone has good intentions. Some will only help themselves, leaving you behind. True help comes from those who care sincerely. This tale also reminds us that curiosity without caution can lead to trouble, but through experience, even mischievous goats can grow wiser. And that's the end of The Goat in the Well. Did you enjoy it? If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so more people can enjoy these stories. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next tale.